Good evening, everyone. I'm Russ Fritz,
I'm Nathan Johns.
and we're also joined by Richard Dooling, one of the originals of Switching Grooves. So, ride along with us tonight while we're
Switching grooves. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Nathan?
Dude?
Not much, just getting festive. Had to get my Christmas
Getting
hat.
festive.
Had to get festive. I mean, this is as jolly as I get. 2311 and Front Row got their request approved. Still can't believe Denny finally gets the raise. That sucks. He still won't win
Well,
a
I guess
championship.
it's an early Christmas present for him.
Yeah, that's about all he's getting this year. He'll get a lump of coal and no ring. Joke's on him.
You always like to hassle him about that, don't you?
I absolutely love to. I still plan on making an 0-18 sign. I still plan on making it. I'll make it extra festive for him if I have to.
0-18. What does
He
that
is
mean?
0-18. He has not won a championship.
He's never won a championship in 18 years.
He's been in for 18 years?
He's
Yeah.
been since 2006, and he has actually never won a championship. And I think on this
I guess
last
that's right.
time
18 years, yeah.
is the debate between him and Mark Martin is technically Mark has 9 championships as a driver. Denny has a regular season points championship as an owner. They're not the same.
No, they're not.
He is in at least how many? I don't know how many years he's actually been in racing, period. But Mark Martin has more championships as a driver than he does, which is hilarious to me. Everybody wants to compare them, but yet they're nowhere close to the same. But yeah,
Easy
this is all I get about Denny Hamlin.
Oh, you and your favorite driver, Denny Hamlin.
We'll go with that. He's my favorite to pick on because he's so overrated.
What do you have new this week besides picking on Denny Hamlin?
Other than the fact that 2311 and Front Row got the judge their injunctions. I believe that's what it was. I got to read it exactly. But
preliminary injunction,
yeah. Preliminary injunctions was approved. Their preliminary injunction was approved, so they are allowed to race in 2025 as charters. So I guess the whole BS.
So now
Stuart Haas was going to suffer irreparable harm because the charters were not sold. I guess that worked,
But now the question is, does NASCAR actually approve of the sale? They still have to approve of the sale of the charters.
I believe that NASCAR is going to appeal the decision. From what I read, it is going to be something like they are going to make the teams post bond for those, which is quite comical in my opinion because I've never heard of it used that way. But
me either.
It's a new one for me. I've never heard of that one. Obviously, Lionel also released their top 10 diecast for the year. One of the I will quote on this one very quickly. I'll touch on it. Is I totally understand why Dale Jr.'s number 8 late model won most popular diecast of the year. I still think there are some sort of shenanigans that Corey LaJoie's Chili's car made the top 10. I believe it was like 7th. There is
Chili's car?
That Chili's car should have made the top 10. He was horrible all year, yet somehow that car managed to make the top 10 diecast.
Well, they're judging the paint scheme, not the driver.
No, it's the most diecast sold of the year.
How in the hell does the frickin' Wendy's car become top 10?
No.
Yeah, your question is as good as mine.
Made the top 10.
Yeah, how?
That's a great question because Hooters, Chase Elliott's car, made the top 10 not once, but twice.
Well, yeah, it's freaking Hooters.
The wins.
Shoot, I go there like twice a week.
They're no longer.
I was there Sunday. I was there Friday. Oh wait, three nights a week usually.
You should get a preferred customer discount here.
I should go there and watch the football games.
Obviously, Joey Logano's top 10 or championship car is going to win. I mean, that's pretty obvious. All those guys will buy that. That one doesn't surprise me. The Chase Elliott car being on there twice was a little bit of a surprise to me. I'm not going to lie. That shouldn't surprise me because technically it is 2 cars, but it was on there twice, which is odd. William Byron's Daytona 500 win was on there. I'm not sure that one really surprised me because that's pretty big. Because it was a Hendrick Motorsports car. But one that got my attention was the 40th anniversary cars. None of those made the list. Obviously, with Kyle Larson, not getting to race his Coke 600 car and they racing at Indy and winning, that one obviously was going to make the list. So that one adds up to me. But,
Kevin Robinson. Who's the funny guy that used to be on the show that's on tonight? What up, Richard Dooling?
I don't know if I agree with the Chili's car making it. And some of the other ones are odd. I'll give you that. But other than, Lionel with their shady top 10, and Front Row and 2311 getting their appeal approved.
Easy, Kevin. Don't worry. Tony is a good friend of Richard and I. He's just talking crap to Richard. So I'm not sure how you were taking that, but I just wanted you to know that.
But
So,
I don't know how I feel about those top 10 diecasts of the year. I think it's a little shady. But I don't really have any now.
Well, what was it like the last half of the year? He didn't even finish the season with the same team.
In the 7 car, yeah, he drove the.
Okay, Kevin, just making sure, man. We didn't want any crap to get going.
Oh, don't you be starting that, Kevin. But anyway,
Tony was talking crap. So
I seen that.
I don't know how I feel about those paint schemes. I really don't.
Sup, Chris?
Other than NASCAR,
hey, Chris,
not a whole lot. I know that Kart Week should be coming up soon down in Daytona. I don't know who all's going to that.
That's this weekend.
I know. I knew it was coming
And
up.
yeah, I've been keeping track of the karting stuff.
I know there's a little bit of karting.
Yeah,
I got a new hauler.
I'm back.
I'm
back.
Unfortunately, all the bullshit and the drama and the karting, I decided a long time ago to get rid of karting and switching grooves. So
that's why we brought it back.
But yet I'm here.
Well, we'll interview. You're here for an interview, actually.
I know. Dang it!
But, we just don't bring karting in. It's just there's so much drama in karting. I mean, there's more drama in karting than a Dylan Mulvaney live stream. So,
wow.
I'm sorry, but I just decided to keep it out of it. There are plenty of shows about karting, so we have a couple of local shows about karting that are not far from me. So I decided to take a different direction. So
that works. But do you have anything dirt wise? Because I don't have a.
But I do have my old karting shirt on when I was the official of the Yard Kart Nationals over the summer.
That works. I mean, I had to represent Richard a little bit. I couldn't go without wearing a Chevy shirt because I didn't have anything else good to wear. So I kind of had to wear something.
Hey, at least you wore something instead of nothing.
I mean, I had a white T-shirt that said Maryland.
We don't want to see you shirtless.
I don't think anybody would want to. That scares me sometimes.
Oh no, Kevin and his football.
Oh, here we go again.
Dan, I think Richard might touch on the Rumble a little bit, but Nathan.
I'm going to talk about that, but
Nathan and I are not. No.
Yeah, go ahead and start your stuff because I don't have a whole lot else. I didn't really.
So you're ready? You're ready for the dirt already?
I didn't have anything good. We just did an episode less than 4 days ago. I don't have anything good.
Oh, that injunction news is new to me because I
had just seen that, and there was a video.
I didn't see anything about it.
By Break Hard, that there was one earlier from Out of the Groove, but that was I don't really have any news updates from any of those guys. I was kind of watching to keep up, but I don't have a whole lot.
So, okay, well, I will get going with the dirt then. You know how I am. I got all my notes here, and
you got a lot of.
I've got my stuff written out. So
before you forget, I did miss one. Chandler Smith did find a ride for next year. He was going to work for his dad's construction company, Now he's going to drive for Front Row's Truck Series team. I missed that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. That's news because I didn't hear anything about him either.
It was just posted 2 days ago. I just forgot that was one of them. He was good in the Xfinity Series and he dropped back.
So on the dirt side of things, we'll start with the Outlaws. Last Tuesday, it was actually confirmed that 10-time IRA champion Bill Balog will return to the Outlaws in 2025. And in 2024, the North Pole Nightmare finished 8th in the World of Outlaws standings, achieving 11 top 5 finishes and 33 top 10 placements across 67 races. He led laps at Pevely, Putica, and Knoxville during his Knoxville Nationals prelim night. His best finish was a second place at Putica, where he also led laps during the same race. Although Balog went winless this season for the first time in a while, it was actually arguably his best year so far, marked by his first appearance in the Knoxville Nationals main event. So with a few lucky breaks, he could have secured a few wins in there. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But now being armed with more experience from the National Tour and insights from 2024's season, Balog's team actually has the potential to improve significantly next season in 2025. And actually on Thursday, Garrett Williamson and Fisher Motorsports are also going full-time with the World of Outlaws in 2025. For weeks, it's been like weeks. Hints about this edition have actually been dropped, and chatter at the World Finals actually suggested an announcement was on the way. Now, Williamson is the third rookie to join the 2025 lineup, marking a significant advancement for him and his team. In 2024, they prepared for a national tour by competing in 72 races, including 41 with the Outlaws and 11 with High Limit. Their top result was a fourth-place finish at Huset's in August. Outside the national tours, Williamson achieved 3 wins this past season, 2 at Huset's and 1 in weekly racing at Knoxville. He also secured several top 5 finishes in POWRi's 410 division and performed well at the World Finals. And then the World Finals were actually in Charlotte, if people don't know that. Williamson also shared with Jeremy Elliott that they fell short on funding, but the team is determined to make it work next season. In the latter part of 2024, though, some teams considered moving up for 2025, but Fisher is the first to actually take the leap. They might face some challenges, but they are expected to grow as he will be competing for the rookie title against Cole Macedo and Chris Windom next year. With Williamson and Balog's additions, the roster for the Outlaws now includes 9 confirmed drivers. Garrett Williamson, Bill Balog, David Gravel, Carson Macedo, Donnie Schatz, Logan Schuchart, Sheldon Haudenschild, Cole Macedo, and Chris Windom. So that's going to be a pretty tough roster right there in itself, let alone anybody else that joins. With Roth Motorsports actually expected to return with Buddy Kofoid behind the wheel, and Gio Scelzi hinting this week on his podcast about returning behind the wheel of the KCP Racing ride, that would actually push the Outlaws to 11 confirmed rides, or drivers, I should say, excuse me. The status of the Premier Motorsports number 70 and the Bill Rose number 6 is still uncertain. However, it seems likely that the Rose number 6 will return if a driver is found, but the future of the Premier 70 is actually less clear. But if both teams do return, this could bring the total to 12 come time for Volusia. Casey Kane, on the other hand, has actually reversed his decision and will return to High Limit for the 2025 year. That's very, very unexpected, and nobody thought that was going to happen. A turn of events that surprised many people. It really surprised me when I heard it. I was like, what? I had to do a double take on it, man. It was crazy when I read that. After spending the previous season with the Outlaws, or I should say, after spending previous seasons with the Outlaws, he joined his teammate and his driver, Brad Sweet, at High Limit for the 2024 season. However, it was a rough year for Kane. He finished 14th overall, achieving just 1 top 5 and 9 top 10 finishes in 45 races. So Very tough year for Kane. Sponsorship was also limited after he lost his support from caravan trailers, and crew assistance was actually a constant challenge the entire season. Nonetheless, he actually showed improvement late in the season with a top 5 finish at the High Limit event in Wheatland and another 5th place finish at the World Finals in Charlotte against the Outlaws. This decision to return was unexpected, as I stated before. In October, it was announced that Eric Prutzman would not continue as Sweet's crew chief. And at the time, the plan was for Kane to take a reduced schedule, running pick and choose, while Prutzman managed the team from a distance. This shift made Ty Wolfgang reconsider taking a crew chief role at CJB, thinking Justin Peck would be his driver. Instead, Wolfgang opted for a chance to work with Sweet after CJB hired Brenham Crouch. With Kane back for a full season, Prutzman is expected to be present for at least 61 races, including major Crown Jewel events. This situation is actually unusual, and typically a new crew chief would work with a less pressured driver like Kane instead of Brad Sweet, but that's not the current plan. The announcement actually confirms that Kane will race with Prutzman next year, and the departure of several high-limit regulars may have actually influenced Kane's return. Now, with him rejoining, the high-limit roster grows to 9 drivers for 2025, including Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney, Spencer Baston, Dazen Pursley, Aaron Reitzel, Justin Peck, Tanner Thorson, and likely Rico Abreu. New additions to the high-limit series have not. No other new additions to the high limit series have been announced yet. So that's about all I have for dirt. Not a whole lot going on. After this weekend, we'll have some news because High Limit does return to action international in Australia at Perth Motorplex. So that'll be interesting, and it'll be a fun race to watch. But other than that, we're going to move on to Richard here. Richard, I hear that you are taking back control in a sense.
In a sense, yes.
Of BWR working with another person.
We're working with 2 other guys.
All right, cool.
Josh McKnight and Dustin Davis.
Sounds interesting.
So we're expecting big things. We got the Rumble this weekend. We're going to be there all week. I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be there all week. I leave Wednesday afternoon, Christmas Day, and I head out to Fort Wayne. So I'm going to be there.
Sounds like a one hell of a weekend.
It's going to be busy. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get back. A lot of people have been bugging me and calling me and asking me how I'm doing, and now it's time and get back into the swing of things, and I have to. So
what made you decide to get back into running BW and BWR?
A lot of thinking, therapy. Therapy helped me. It's time. It's time to come back and start doing it again. Doing things that I love doing. Getting back to myself.
Basically, you took a much needed break.
I needed a break. I mean, it took 3 years, but I had to.
But at least the people that you left it to kept it going.
They kept it going as they could have. And just like the series in North Carolina, that's over with. That's no longer. So we're going to have to try to figure out something to do up here. So the BWN series down in North Carolina, or BWR series, is gone after 2024. So 2025 is going to be up to us up here to figure out what's going on. All the stickers and all that stuff, we're working on that, trying to get that done. They want to do banners. Process. They want to do, yeah. I mean, we're just starting out again, but it'll all be to where it was before. Hopefully we can get everything back in like the big leagues we did before too. I still talk to Josh. I still talk to all them guys at RBR.
And having someone like Josh McKnight behind you, that's going to help you significantly.
He's cool. Yeah, I'm very lucky and blessed to have guys like that. I mean, I mean, they're freaking. I mean, they have Frankie Muniz driving full time next year for RBR. I mean, that's freaking cool.
Joe's still 3 wide down the middle.
Yeah, but
so you're actually back in touch with Josh.
I'm back in touch with a lot of guys. So hopefully we'll be able to get you guys going with a lot of the big names again. Well, other than that, we got the Rumble this weekend, so we're concentrating on that, and we're bringing some two fast go-karts again. I think we're running a total of 4 classes. I think we're running 2 karts and clones. So
4 classes with 2 drivers and 2 karts?
2 drivers, 2 karts.
Okay.
And 2 classes. So
that's not uncommon.
No, but I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, they're taking, they eliminated a heat race. So there's only 1 heat race now, and they're taking like the top 4 in practice, and they're taking them top 4, and they're putting them automatically in the show. So
basically, everybody
it's something because there's so many classes that they're trying to fit everything in.
That makes
so they're eliminating.
Well, and I've been saying this for years. That's why you need to limit your classes.
Yes,
but
that's why they don't have a Predator class this year. There's so many classes.
I'm sorry, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, and people disagree with me highly. But when it comes to karting, it's time. The Predator has gotten so out of hand. It's time to go. Now, there was one track and announcement I saw over the weekend that they are doing what I said should be done years ago that everybody told me was a bad idea, and the track control is controlling the engines, and they're going to number them and whatever your pill draw is or whatever, however they're going to do it, but you're going to draw for your engine, put it on, and then take it off and give it back to the track at the end of the night. I've said that for years, and nobody agreed with me on it, so...
It's kind of like what DNQ I've heard is doing is they stamp the motors at the end of the year and they're all in a database. And if your numbers don't match or you find your seal is tampered with, at that point it goes right back.
Yeah, DNQ don't play. I've been there, witnessed that firsthand.
That's right, Dan. Dan just reminded me of the racetrack. It was actually Tony Stewart Speedway. That's who it was.
DNQ don't mess around.
Also.
What's that, Nathan?
Didn't Little Eldora go up for sale or something? I heard.
No. Little
Eldora
runs Midwest Race of Champions now, so it's still around.
No, but I thought somebody else owned it now because I saw something about that.
No, that's part of Eldora
that's Tony Stewart's track. I mean, there's
been a new guy in charge, general manager or whatever. Yeah, and Tony's gone through like 2 or 3 guys in the last couple of years, but.
Because I thought I saw something recently about that, one, and I kind of forgot it was there. Something about Little Eldora I saw this week.
No.
My big concern, though, is when it comes to the Rumble, especially being concrete, is the issues that they've been having with the burst tires coming off of the bead.
I didn't hear.
And I haven't kept
up, around, so I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they've been having problems all year with the tires coming off the bead, the right side tires coming off of the beads.
That must be where I hear all the tire drama from.
Yeah, probably. And I haven't kept up with it enough. Like I said, I quit keeping up with karting for a while now. So, and I never really was a huge fan of concrete racing anyways. So I never really followed the Rumble whole. I've never even been to the Rumble.
Dan is saying they're running bead locks now.
Bead lock is what Dan says.
Wow. That's interesting.
I've seen a little bit of karting bead locks. I don't know much about them, but I have seen them around.
I've seen them a lot for the outlaw karts, the wing karts.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them on ours.
No, I haven't seen them run on flat karts. I saw one SAE kart, the rear engine kart, years ago with one at a play track, but it wasn't at a real race.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if I need to get one for my kart because I know we're going to run a little bit of pavement racing this year with our champ kart. So that's why I should probably look into something.
And I'm sure Burris is working on the problem. I wouldn't put it past Kurt and his team to, be digging hard and diving deep into.
AKRA approved it.
That's interesting. That's good to know because
that's news to me.
Isn't AKRA and WKA
they're all the same. Yeah, I thought they all combined.
Haven't they merged together, Dan?
Yeah.
Waiting for.
But I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure Burris is working on the issue, and if they haven't already found the problem and or have it fixed already, I would actually be very, very surprised.
You said no, just same rules.
That makes sense.
I would actually be very surprised if Kurt Burris would sweep something like that under the rug, dude. He would never ever sweep anything like that under the rug. I mean, his reputation is too high for that. So I mean, I know a lot of people are pissed at him and his company for what's going on, but sometimes things happen, and you just have to move forward and do the best you can. So, hey, Sean, I see you watching. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, and then Bears got his big race that he announced today down in Southern Ohio.
Jackson, Ohio.
So that's going to be an indoor dirt race.
I forget the arena name, but Dan might know it. But Bear made an announcement about it. Yeah. So BWN going to be there too?
I won't be, but probably Josh McKnight and Dusty Davis. I know they're already talking about going there, so don't count them boys out. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, Josh always came to our indoor races that we had up here in Shelby at Circle T Arena.
So they will probably be there. So they will be supporting BWR and doing their thing. But I probably won't be there. That's too far of a drive for me.
So what are your actual plans moving forward? As a step-by-step process. I mean, you can't just jump headfirst into it again.
No. I mean, it's.
But do you have a plan laid out to, get back to?
My plan is just get my foot back in the door and just slowly get back at it. Like this weekend's going to be that starter. So I'm gonna go from this weekend, get with the guys, and figure out what we have going on and see what we need to do and go from there.
I really hope that you get back to what actually brought us together when it comes to doing live shows and make it win big.
We're planning on doing live shows on the page and on whatever else, and they plan on doing like live broadcasts at the races too, even if when I'm not there. I mean, Dusty, he's a one hell of a promoter. He knows more about that stuff than I do. So he's going to be the guy behind all that stuff. And then Smo, he's usually quiet. And
so what about the kids and the youth of the sport? Do you intend to go back to doing what you used to do for them? The coloring contests and all the good stuff.
It'll get to that point again. That's already been talked about today.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's
been brought to me.
That was the biggest thing that drew me to you when
a lot of that stuff will come back. It's just going to take time. I mean, it's not going to happen right away.
No.
Photo contests were definitely cool. I remember those.
As long as we get the sponsors back and and all that cool stuff.
I'm really bummed that BWR wasn't around 2 years ago, at least not around here, because I finally got my first win. I could have been able to enter a contest finally.
Yeah, we're hoping to get that going again. We need to find some sponsors to throw some cash in to give away. So
I got to win another one now that BWR is back, because I actually had the sticker on the cart then too. I still have that sticker somewhere.
We're already talking about getting the stickers back. A lot of people are bugging me, but it's just gonna take time, baby steps, like it did before. It didn't happen overnight. It took me a while.
You have to be able to afford to get to the racetrack first, Nathan.
Yeah, this blind squirrel will find another nut to win a race, so I can get in these.
But I've been gone for a total of 3 years, and so it's going to take time to get back to.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not talking bad about the people you left it to, but their vision of it is different than your vision of it. And
they wanna make it bigger than when I had it. So I picked the right two guys.
Oh, absolutely. They didn't do anything they shouldn't have. They did a great job with it.
I mean, I did my homework before I picked anybody. I had a lot of guys that I had my eyes on that could help me. But they just the atmosphere that they bring to the racetrack is just unreal. So I was like, you know what? These guys, they always do like little videos, little clips. They always, they have their own fun. that's what BWR was about. It was about having fun, going to the racetrack. It wasn't always about winning. It wasn't always about, this and that. And it was about helping each other. And that's what these guys do. They're a big family, and they got their big group. And I've actually witnessed it firsthand at Palmyra this year. And it made me feel like, okay, this is what my team was started on. Friends, family, getting together, hanging out at the racetrack, having fun. These are my guys.
And I remember you asking me at one time if I would like to help take it over, and I actually turned you down on it because I was, in the middle of promoting my own racetrack and trying to do my own show and run my own business, and I had a full-time job too. Like, I had so much going on, and then. I'm actually glad I did, because the people that you left it to did so much better of a job with it than I would have been able to do. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to.
Like Brandon Smith and Thomas. Oh my God, they took it to a whole nother level with that series.
I raced with Brandon in my NASCAR.
Oh my God,
I know
they freaking took that and ran with it, and now that they're busy and now they have kids now, and they're married and everything, and now they ain't got time to do it this year, so that helps it out up here, and now it's back up here, and so
we're gonna find some way
to do good things,
everybody, so we can just spread it that direction. We spread it to the south, we spread it to the east with me. Now we got to spread it west. We got to go all the way out to California.
Well, all the way up to California. We've done that already.
I mean, we got to get a whole series going, coast to coast.
I mean, that was gonna be the.
That's gonna be hard.
That was gonna happen. I was talking to a track and a couple other guys out in Arizona, and they just. I don't know how they do things out there, but it's different.
Yeah,
I think their cart count isn't as good as it is up here. But they wanted to have I told them they can do their own thing or whatever, and I don't know what happened. I haven't talked to them ever since. So.
I know that a lot of kart manufacturers are on this side of the country, and I know from being at swap meets that a lot of the karts that are here get sold to out there for dealers. So they don't actually have new karts. They're just used karts getting passed out.
That's usually all it is out there, yes.
Yeah, so there's if you have them, they're usually just backyard karts at that point. There's a track, but not a lot.
Smo and Dusty also want to do the BWR races again as well.
And then there's plenty of places in Indiana for them to do that.
It definitely seems small.
But they want to bring them races back like we did them here. Remember, like the winner take all stuff, and they want to bring that back. That's how
we gotta take karting and do something we don't normally do. I am a big fan of the endurance races. I will tell you right now, I have run the Perduro 500s. We need to get a Breadwinners Racing version of that, because those things are awesome.
We can do it. We need to find. It's just going to take work, but we can do it.
We hand out the motor for the race and everything.
Now, do you plan to keep BWN strictly dirt, strictly asphalt, or are you going to combine them like you had before?
Here's the thing. BWR and BWN are two different things. BWR is the kart racing team. Mm-hmm. That's basically what Smo and Dusty are. BWN is everything. So BWN is a national event. That's why Breadwinners Nation. So that's big cars, little cars, asphalt cars, sprint cars, everything. Where BWR is just the go-karts.
Well, and I asked that mainly because I know that Josh McKnight actually will run just about any surface.
Yes.
So
yes, but BWR, if that team is racing asphalt, dirt, that's what they're going to be doing. Like, let's say they want to run the Clyde Street Race. That's what they'll do.
I want to run that. That sounds fun.
So
it's rough. Believe me, it's rough.
I want to try it.
I've ran it a few times.
I mean, just like this weekend, it's concrete. So we're on the concrete this weekend and not dirt. So
I'm not saying it's not a good race. I'm not trying to say anything bad about it.
I've heard all kinds of things about it. That's why I want to take it for a try some here.
All I'm going to say is that it's rough. I mean, you're running on the streets, man. You're not running on a track. You're running on the streets.
I bet they are.
So
I'm the,
I mean,
I'm the one who wanted to do a endurance race. I'm sure that this is nothing unusual for me.
I mean, after running on it a few times, I know the areas you have to avoid, and actually living in the same town, I drive those streets every day. So
I feel like it'd be fun to try it.
unfortunately, I was strictly an asphalt or a dirt oval racer, so I didn't get much of an advantage because of knowing the streets over any of the other guys that actually run asphalt or run a lot of Grand Prix. So I just did it for fun.
I don't run asphalt a lot, but I do know that I set one of the high scores, or I guess we'll say personal bests, at the K1 in Canton. We ran 62 2-mile races in 10 hours. So I'm sure that after running it for a while, you'll get used to the feeling the bumps. So that's why I feel like it'd be fun to enter something like that.
Yeah, but it's not fun going to work the next morning.
Oh, I know it's not. I slept in the car the night after I finished that because I couldn't drive. It was miserable, but it was fun. I mean, 10 hours worth of racing is not something I recommend for the faint of heart, but it's
if you think you're sore after that kind of racing,
the wheel hopping is the worst part of it. Is the
make 10 to 14 laps 3 different times on Clyde, and you're going to be a lot more sore.
It's rough.
I still want to try it. So if anybody out there wants to sponsor me, I'll try it. Just give it a go. I think it'd be awesome to try. Of course,
I'll tell you this: if you come over here and run it with your own equipment and it's your first time, make sure you bring your most junk equipment with you.
I know a perfect cart you need to look for that race. We've won on one.
What is it?
If you can find one, a Phenom PRC.
I've probably seen them around here.
We won on that.
See, I wish they had.
It's been a long time ago, but it was fast.
Out here.
It was a good cart.
They ran cage carts here one year.
See, I wish they would do it again because then you wouldn't hurt so much when you roll over.
If you actually pay attention, you won't roll over.
Well, yeah, that too.
It's actually very rare for a guy to roll over here. It's not really that bad. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times, but it's not as common as you would think it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been up on 2 wheels. I've never rolled over, but I've rolled over on the dirt a few times, but.
Oh, you could ask Richard. I've done that. I did that at Paul Meyer up my first trip out there. He was there for that one. He remembers that.
I was there.
That was
pretty interesting. You did it more than once.
Well, no, but that was the second one ever at that time. I went 4 for 5 that year. 4 out of my 5 crashes were rolls. I remember that year.
You were having a rough night that night.
I wouldn't say that. I was one spot short of the B main after all that. I somehow pulled that off.
You almost made the feature,
which is still shocking.
Almost.
You missed it by 1 spot.
It only counts horseshoes or hand shoes and horse grenades, as the dyslexic people say.
Are you dyslexic, Nate?
What?
Are you dyslexic?
No, I just spell race car backwards.
It's got jokes.
I'm glad somebody got that joke. I'm glad somebody. Man. I have to bring some sort of cheer.
So
I mean, this is as jolly as I get, as I keep saying.
So, what other questions you got for me while you got me here?
Anybody live have any questions for Richard about BWN/BWR?
Now is the perfect chance to get fan interaction.
Or if you just want to poke fun at him, I mean
everybody picks on me.
I mean that's what Switcher Grooves was along when it was him and I. We were always making fun of each other on the air.
Yeah, now you guys take everything too seriously.
Well, no. Okay, so here's a question for you, since we're gonna have a little fun while we wait for some fans to put some questions. What are you gonna do now that there's no Kevin Harvick on track and Josh Berry has ruined the 4 car's name?
You know what I'm gonna do? I don't watch NASCAR anymore. I haven't watched NASCAR racing forever.
Root for Noah Gragson in the number 4 car?
No, we're just going to continue to root for Kyle Larson in the 5 car.
There you go. The dirt guys, that's who I go for, usually.
Not the 20 car?
Now that Kevin's gone.
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell. If he was in a Chevy, I'd go for him, or a Ford. I hate Toyotas.
So what about Briscoe?
Chase Briscoe. I used to like him. Now he drives a Toyota.
Oh yeah, I
Not
forgot
anymore.
about that. That's true. Man, there's only okay. What about Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch drives a Chevy now.
And he drives dirt.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a break. He ran a few dirt races. He's not a dirt racer, dude. Don't give me that crap.
We got one from Andrew.
I ran into him earlier.
We got a question from Andrew.
I don't think that'll happen, Andrew. Well, Andrew's question, Richard, is: have you all talked about a merger between High Limit and the World of Outlaws that may happen down the road?
Ooh.
I don't think
That's not going to happen for quite a while, if it ever happens at all. Me, I don't think I see it happening ever.
No. Maybe a sticker on one of the cars, which has happened.
I think they've all had a crossover. High Limits and
I can't believe that rumor is
which usually comes
already.
in time with the sales of merchandise and stuff. Everything, all the money goes back to the racers.
It's only been one season, and they're already talking about it. Larson said they talked about it, and it's a possibility. I don't know, man.
I mean, more power to them.
I think they'll be fighting over the name.
I was gonna say
Probably.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other
what name are they going to stick with? And then
I have a question for Richard. I know that you haven't really followed the NASCAR lately, but what are your thoughts on the supposed Gen 8 car?
High Limit Outlaws.
Russ and I talked about this last week, but I want to know
the Gen 8.
Yes, they talked about a Gen 8 car.
I didn't even hear anything about that.
Okay. Supposedly NASCAR is in discussions of a Gen 8 car. I know we talked about that.
Nothing's actually been released yet or made up yet. Not even.
Can't they just leave anything alone?
That's what I said. He literally just said what I was thinking.
Are you freaking? You just brought out the dang car, and you want to make it See, this is why I don't follow it anymore either. It is so stupid. I mean,
here's another question for you, Richard, since you've been MIA, because I know you've been busy. With Chevy getting rid of the Camaro, and obviously
it's staying in NASCAR from what I've heard.
Well,
yeah, but they can't change it. They can't do anything.
Yeah, they can't change it or nothing. But there's Chevy still keeping it in.
They've already taken the Camaro name off of the car next year. It just says Chevrolet.
Okay, with Ford getting the dark horse and Toyota getting whatever they want to call this thing, what is going to be the next GM car after they just figure out the Camaro, whatever this is this year? What do you think?
It's going to be
do you think we're going Cadillac or?
It's going to be a cattle trap.
What?
Yep. You never heard that?
He's making fun of the Cadillac.
Cattle traps. Yep, it's going to be one of those.
So
it'll probably be a CTSV.
I believe it'll be a Cadillac myself, because Cadillac just came into, what was it, F1 or Indy or whatever it was?
Yeah, Cadillac is it Cadillac?
Yeah.
They came into F1? I can't remember.
I believe they're going to move over to the Cadillac brand and push that, because Cadillacs are the only sedans.
I think it was IndyCar.
Cadillacs are the only sedans that the GM Corporation actually makes anymore.
That's it.
Chevrolet doesn't have sedans anymore. Mm-hmm. The only car they have now is the Corvette,
and that's not even really a car anymore.
I mean, that's a sports car. Right?
Yeah.
That's not a sedan.
Manufacturer.
What?
What
do you mean?
There was talks of Honda was joining NASCAR. What are your thoughts on the rice burners joining?
He already hates Toyota, so what does that tell you?
They're gonna sound like freaking
tin cans,
rice burners.
That's what I just said.
Yeah,
because I know like crap. We had talked about. Well, I know Russ and I had talked about it, and I don't.
Let's throw a V8 in a freaking rice burner. Why?
Actually, NASCAR's talking about moving down to turbo V6s.
Oh my God, are you freaking kidding me?
Because Honda doesn't want to have to work on a V8. It's like, okay, we'll make them because they did with Toyota.
Oh, it's like this. Like if you wreck your freaking Honda Ridgeline or whatever, the insurance company says, that's not a truck, that's an SUV. They don't even figure that as a truck. They figure it as an SUV.
Last week.
So it's like, really?
Bring Honda in. Does that mean they're going to bring, the little hatchback is for the Civic? They're going to bring the Civic into the Xfinity series.
God.
And the Ridgeline to the truck series. Is that what we're going to do?
You know what? NASCAR is so freaking stupid right now. They're going to have all these freaking old veterans that fought in World War II and everything else rolling in their freaking graves. All because they have these stupid jet cars coming in.
You had to piss him off at NASCAR, didn't you, Nathan?
And this is why I don't watch that anymore. I would rather support the little guys here around here, and then,
I mean,
you had to get me fired up.
The little guys are racing on Saturday when we go down to the Clash. I don't know if you heard that report yet, but they're doing the Bowman Gray Classic before the practice and qualifying at Bowman Gray, as they're doing the modified race. So that I'm kind of excited about that one. I'm not so sure about the practice and qualifying.
Man, I'm interested to see all the guys that used to be on the TV show. The Burt Myers, the Jason Myers, all them guys.
Tim Browns. Well, Tim Brown, I don't know if he's going to race both cars or if he's just going to qualify the Rick Ware racing car.
Remember the real older guy was Junior Felver or whatever.
So I think it's kind of interesting. I didn't get to watch all the episodes, but I think it'll be fun to see.
So are you done getting me all wound up?
Yes.
Get my blood boiling?
He's done.
I'm sure I could twist a few more screws, but
don't.
Don't, because I'll freaking hit something.
Because we've only got about 10 minutes left, and we don't even have to fulfill that, to be honest with you. But
that's fair. Well, whenever you're ready to wrap it up, we can wrap it up.
Anyways, we're back, and we're expecting big things for 2025.
You excited?
I'm excited.
All right.
It's about damn time I'm back. So I've heard that from multiple people the past few weeks.
So anyone has any questions, I don't know how to tell you to get a hold of Richard, because Richard Dueling is no longer on Facebook. It's somebody else.
I'm incognito, but not very well, because
if you need to
logo is my.
If you need to discuss or ask any questions about BWN, BWR, you can contact Josh McKnight, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Any one of them
Dusty
guys.
Davis.
Dusty Davis.
I thought it was Dusty Davis. I just want to make sure. So don't be hesitant to contact Josh McKnight or Dusty Davis about BWN and
BWR also.
And we're going to win this week. We're going to win everything that we're in. So,
but announcement that I actually already created earlier, and I posted on our page. Don't forget to join us for Thursday, December 26th, exclusively on our YouTube channel only, for an interview with the Fast 410 and Boss Non-Wing Sprint Series owner, Aaron Fry. Aaron is going to release his schedule soon, and we look forward to talking to him about what he's got planned for next year. I'm trying to hold back on some of the stuff that I know that I'm not allowed to say. So
I'm getting excited about it myself.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to Aaron. We tried talking to Rich Farmer and were politely turned down an interview with Rich about the All-Stars. So we planned on reaching out to Aaron either way. I mean, I wanted to talk with both of them, but Aaron is the only one that accepted our offer to come on for an interview, and we appreciate that. So don't forget to tune in live at 8:00 on Thursday evening, Thursday, December 26th, for an exclusive interview only on Switch and Groove's YouTube channel with Aaron Fry. So awesome. I'm excited about that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the series that he owns, Fast or Boss, you're more than welcome to comment them during the live broadcast, or you can email those to us at switchergrooves@gmail.com. Any fan mail you can also send to us at switchinggrooves@gmail.com. That's switching with no G. And, well, there is one G, but not two Gs.
You can also message the page also.
Yes, and don't be afraid to message the page. We'll try our best to get any questions for Aaron included in our interview. So with that, I think it's going to wrap it up for me on my end. I'd like to wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I'm sure we'll see you again before then, but please, please, please be safe while you're out there and enjoy your time with your families.
Watch out for reindeer. Don't let Grandma walk out in front of them.
Like yours?
Ha ha ha. Very funny. Anyway, for Switching Grooves, Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Nathan Johns.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Russ Fritz.
Richard Dooley.
What do you say?
Risk it for the biscuit, boys. Let's go. It's race week.
And we
race hard.
And good luck, everybody in Daytona, too. I'm sorry.
Like I always say, guys, race hard.
Stay safe.
And we'll see you there. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.